Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 9 o'clock on a Sunday, which means it's time for a review show special. And this week, on this week's review show special, I am going to do a review show on a company or a creator. Probably one of the most requested review show specials I've had on this channel. And that is a review show special on Jay Sankey. Now, the problem with Sankey Magic, or Jay Sankey, is I could do literally 100 review show specials and I would only be touching a fraction of the output Jay has created over the years. So the question is, when I do a review show special, what do I do it on? Because Jay has released so much magic. He's got exclusive items with Penguin Magic, stuff with Murphy's, he's got stuff directly through SankeyMagic.com, he's got his own training sites. I mean, he puts out so much material, it's very difficult to decide how to do a review show special. Well, what I ended up doing is going onto SankeyMagic.com and putting in an order for a few routines that I had never seen before. So these are new routines that Jay has brought out directly through his company. They are only available through SankeyMagic.com. They are not available through other magic shops. You get them directly from Jay. And I thought I'd review them and talk about what I think about them, talk about the pros, talk about the cons. So yeah, two things that I want to point out before we start the review show. Number one, Jay's tutorials are very no frills. I'm not going to keep repeating this in every review. His tutorials are really no frills. He's not in a studio. He's typically in his living room or in his dining room or in his kitchen. It looks to me like he's filming on a laptop because at times he moves the screen up and down. It is a very no-frills approach to filming a tutorial. You haven't got any 1914 Penguin Magic style multi-camera setup here. This is basic as it gets. So, I mean, that's something that you need to be aware of. It's not too much of an issue because Jay is very good at explaining the magic that he teaches. He's a very good teacher. He doesn't need a multi-camera shoot or multiple camera angles to get his point across. And a lot of the stuff that he teaches these days, not back in the day, but these days, a lot of the stuff he teaches is relatively easy. So it's not really too much of an issue, but it's something you should be aware of. The other thing to be aware of is Jay takes a very no-frills approach to the packaging of the products as well. So I spent probably, I don't know, about $150 on items through SankeyMagic.com to do this review show special. And the parcel came and I was like, well, that's kind of a small parcel. And when I opened it up, it reminds me of the old days, like from 15, 20 years ago when you used to go to magic conventions and you used to go to places like the Stephen Tucker dealer stand and you had little jiffy bags. That's what his stuff comes in. It comes in little jiffy bags and there's a sticker on the top, which is a bit.ly link through to an unlisted video on YouTube. And that unlisted video on YouTube teaches you everything that you need to know. It is a very no-frills approach. You're not going to have fancy packaging. That's not what you're paying for. A lot of the items, although Jay will tell you that they are sourced specifically for this product or whatever it is that he says, a lot of them are very simple in nature, which is fine. You're paying for the routine. But these are two things that you should be aware of when ordering magic from SankeyMagic.com. It's going to be very no frills. Don't be disappointed when your package comes through the post and it's just a few jiffy bags with what looks like random crap in there. It's the tricks, it's the routines that you're paying for. And the tutorials are just unlisted videos on YouTube that are very no frills and there's no multi-camera shoots. As long as you're aware of that, then that's fine. Would it be nice if Jay upped the production value? Yes. Is that going to happen? Probably not. Would it be nice to have live performance videos? Absolutely. To be honest, I don't think any product that I'm reviewing is going to get 100%. And that's only because there's no live performances. And I think that it's a shame because Jay, and one of his key strengths, and one of the reasons so many people love Jay Sankey is because he is a very entertaining, engaging performer. I mean, one of the best L&L DVD sets I've ever watched is Jay's 3 DVD set from L&L. And some of his best work is when I watch him live or I see live performance footage. He just lights up in front of an audience. So it's a shame that when he releases these products, there's no live performances. It's literally him talking through what the trick would be like, talking through what the live performance would be like. And that's a real shame. And I think that any product that's released these days, there's no reason why you can't get live performance footage. It is so easy to get live performance footage these days with the, with smartphones. You get an iPhone 13, for example, you've got a camera in your pocket that's so powerful, it's ridiculous. So, there should be live performance footage. I think that people would get a lot from seeing live performance footage, but I'm not going to bang on about that in every single routine. I think it's something that you need to be aware of before you're going into ordering something from sankeymagic.com. With that all being said, there's some very interesting stuff that I'm going to be reviewing today. I am a self-confessed Sankey fan. I know a lot of his earlier material and some of his more recent material, but the stuff I'm reviewing today, I've never really seen before. So let's get into it, and we're going to start off with a product called Anarkey. So the first product I'm looking at today is a relatively new product for Jay, and it's called Anarkey. And at the start of the tutorial, which runs for just over an hour, Jay looks directly to camera and he says, "I've been waiting so long to say these words. Welcome to Anarkey." And then goes into the routine. So what is Anarkey? Well, Anarkey, you get 4 things. You get 2 regular keys, and they're just normal kind of house keys. They're just 2 normal keys. You get a pre-bent key. So it's like taking another one of those house keys, putting it in a vise and bending it. It's not like it's a specially engineered key. He's just bent a key. And then you get a length of nylon sort of cord. Very nice nylon cord, actually. Really, really nice. Some of the best I've ever seen to do this sort of routine. You get enough so that you cut it into 2 and have 2 lots of it. So you've got a spare, and you get a small piece of black nylon cord as well. And that's all in your jiffy bag. And then you get the tutorial. Now, what it is, basically, what Anarkey is it's an extension of Jay's trick that he released many, many years ago called Leaving Home. And this is where my knowledge of being a Sankey fan comes in. So Leaving Home, I think he published it in Sankey Panky, but also it was on his L&L DVD sets as well. And I'm pretty sure he brought it out at some point as a standalone product. The problem with Jay is a lot of the time he releases stuff multiple times in different names, so it's hard to keep track. But I used to do Leaving Home. And what Leaving Home is it's a piece of cord tied together, so you've got a loop of cord with a key on it. And Jay's idea was to have the cord around his neck with the key on it, take the cord off, have it examined, pull the key off, and throw it back on again and have it examined. And that's basically what Leaving Home was. And it used Jay's 2-way toss, which is something that he created for a build routine. And it's almost like a striking vanish, but a switch at the same time. And it's a very knacky move. I was never able to do the 2-way toss. I came up with my own way of doing it. But the actual visual of the of the key coming off the cord and going back on again is great. Leaving Home was very, very popular. Well, Anarkey is an extension of that. So he teaches the original Leaving Home along with the 2-way toss and the method for getting it off. But then he goes into overdrive and he goes into multiple different ways of achieving the same thing. So he goes into multiple different ways of pulling the key off, multiple different ways of putting the key back on again. He talks about having it happen in his pocket, having it happen in the spectator's hand, and like literally dozens and dozens of ideas to extend the Leaving Home plot and make it longer than it actually is by having it like multi-phase. So it comes off, it goes on, it comes off, it goes on, which is a very interesting idea. And it's something I've played with actually, because obviously most people who are watching this know that I love magic with keys as well. And I've actually, for many, many years, been doing a ring and string routine using a key and a piece of cord. And I don't have it tied together like Jay does. I have it go on and off, and there's a kicker ending that's very different to what Jay's doing. But a couple of the moves are very, very similar. So I very much appreciated what Jay was doing in this project. I thought it was very good. He left no stone unturned when it came to ideas to actually use with this. The bent key is an interesting concept. The whole idea with the bent key is because you've got this key that's permanently on this piece of cord, he teaches this very interesting way to switch that key for a bent key, but the spectators don't realize the key's been switched. So you can visually bend this key while it's on the cord, tied on the cord, and then he can flatten it out in between his hands and hand it out for examination. That's what the bent key's there for. He's got other ideas as well. So the piece of black cord is there because he's got this idea of, during the course of a routine, actually changing the colour of the cord, which, to be honest, I didn't like. I thought that was just thrown in there for the sake of it. I didn't think that would fool anyone. I thought it was overly complicated and not really needed, especially when some of the other sequences that he does teach are simply beautiful. They really are. I'm going to do a very quick performance of a couple of the moves. What I've done is I've taken a couple of the routines or a couple of the moves that Jay teaches. I've routined it together into a very simple kind of routine for me. So let me perform that for you just so you can see what leaving home looks like. I will tell you right now, I've never really been able to do the two-way toss. You're not going to see me do Jay's two-way toss. It's just something that I've always struggled with. But you know, I'm gonna substitute it with a whole bunch of other moves that Jay teaches. So let's have a look at that right now. Jack, we're going to do something. What do you think of my fashion statement?
It's very
you like it?
fashionable.
Exactly. Who needs a necklace when you've got a key on a piece of string? Just check it out for me. I've double knotted it, so without untying it or without untying the knot or without cutting through this, you're not going to be able to get that key off, right?
Nope.
Would you agree?
I agree.
So the idea for me as a magician is to try and figure out how to get this key off here by using magic. And the concept is like this. You just pull once, twice, 3 times. So I can actually pull the key right off there. Like, seriously, I mean, don't you think that's weird that I actually pulled the key off?
Yeah.
But let me do it again. Do you see the middle?
Yeah.
You see the key?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, check it out. Have a look. I mean, it's not some sort of weird optical illusion. It really is coming off. Don't you think that's weird? Let me try and do it one more time. The key is absolutely on. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Watch. All I have to do, right for the camera, I just pull. And pull it straight off. I'm going to go for a big finish. You ready for the big finish?
Yeah.
I'm going to put the end of this in my pocket. Is that fair?
That's fair, yeah.
And watch the key. Try and keep one eye on the key. Try and keep one eye on the pocket. If I just do this, the key vanishes, travels invisibly, goes right back on there.
What?
And you can check everything out. So there you go. There's an idea of the sort of thing that you can do with this. I mean, the bottom line is this is very commercial. Like super commercial, because it takes up, well, think about this for a minute. First of all, it takes up no pocket space. There's lots and lots of different options in terms of the way that you can routine this together. Jay doesn't talk about how to create a routine. He just basically says, hey, this is something you can do with it. This is something you can do with it. It's up to you to create your own routine, which is fine, I suppose. But when you think about putting a routine like this together, it's there's no pocket space required. In fact, you can just hang it around your neck if you want to. You don't need a table. The magic can happen without a table. The magic happens in the spectator's hands. Depending on the handling you do, there's no angle issues. Everything's reset. You're ready to go again. It's the perfect walk around trick, really. But it is also hyper visual. And then you throw in the idea of using a key and having a key bend, and you can have a whole bunch of penetrations, finish off by bending the key, straightening it out, and then you just put it back around your neck and you reset for the next table. And if you don't want to have it around your neck, you can just literally pop it into your top pocket, reach in, take it out. The sky's the limit. It's a very in-depth tutorial. As I say, and I'm not going to keep bringing this up every single video, but it does suffer from the fact that there's no live performance footage. I would like to see Jay do this in the real world, just so I can see his timing when he's actually performing, and that's not going to happen. So it's very good. It is very, very good. It looks super visual, and it's not even that hard to do. You can get, some of the moves will require more practice. As I say, I've been practicing the two-way toss for 20 years and I still haven't managed to get it. Maybe I'll have another crack at that. So there's some moves in there that are quite difficult or quite knacky to get. There's other moves that are actually quite easy as well. You'll be able to routine something together relatively easily. I'm going to give this 98%. I think this is very good. I think that there's nobody that's going to feel like they haven't had value with this set. The props are very well made. The chord especially is very well made. The tutorial is very in-depth and it leaves no stone unturned. So there you go, 98%. It's highly recommended, especially if you do commercial close-up work. Okay, so next up we've got Reconstruction. And I've never seen this before. And when you get it through the post, you might be a little bit disappointed because all you're going to get in there is 2 sheets of stickers. That's it. You're going to get 2 sheets of stickers. And you're going to be thinking, well, what are these used for? However, this is one of my favorite tricks that I'm actually reviewing on this review show special. This is so commercial. It's ridiculous. So what we have here is we have special stickers, right? And Jay has gone to the trouble of making sure that these stickers are exactly the same color and exactly the same size and shape as suits or pips on a playing card. And you've got hearts and diamonds on this one. You've got spades and clubs on this one. That's what this is. Now, what does it do? Well, it allows you to have a really, really cool change of a playing card into another card. So imagine this for a minute. Imagine that you have someone pick a card and they pick the 2 of diamonds, for example. And then you have the 2 of diamonds put back into the pack and you lose it and, you know, you've lost their card. And then you say you're going to try and find their card. You cut to the card and you say, hey, 3 of diamonds, is this your card? And they say no. And you get them to sign the back of it and you say, okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to try and turn this 3 of diamonds into a 2 of diamonds. And then you fold in the corners of the card covering up the indices. And then you visually, and I mean super visually, take the pip off the 3 of diamonds. Like, I'm not kidding. You peel the pip off the 3 of diamonds. So you say, well, technically that's the 2 of diamonds because there's 2 diamonds. But then when you unfold the indices corners, now the indices have turned into a 2 of diamonds. This is the sort of thing that I wish I had come up with. This is genius. I love this. You know what? I know I said I wasn't going to give anything 100% because of the lack of quality of the tutorials. This has to get 100% for me because I think this is one of the best revelations of a playing card that I've ever seen. I'm going to give you a performance of it first of all so you can see what it looks like when you're actually performing it. So let's have a look at that right now. Hey Jack, so we got a deck of cards here. Yep. 52 cards, they're all there, they're all different. That's right. And you're going to pick one of them. Okay, and this is a very simple trick. You've seen me do quite complicated card magic in the past, but this is very simple. The concept is very simple. You're going to pick a card. Oh. I'm going to find it. It's about as simple as you're going to get, really. But how I find it is what's interesting. So I'm going to cut cards onto the table, as I do anytime you want to. Just say stop. Stop. Right there? Yep. Have a look at that card. Remember it. Don't forget it. Do not show me. And you can put the card back into the middle any way you want to, face down. Okay. You want it there? Yep. Or you can lay it on top of the spread. That's right. You want it in there, yeah? Yeah, please. And we'll square it up. Now, would you like to shuffle the cards again? Yeah, go on. Give them a quick shuffle. Okay. So the card is lost, and I have to try and find that card. But I'm not going to find it. You are. That's what makes this trick so interesting. You see, you have no idea where the card is, because even though you know roughly where in the pack you put it, I then shuffle the card, so it could be anywhere. So we're going to see if you have. We're going to see if you've got good intuition. You're going to try and find the card yourself. So as I cut packets of cards onto the table, just like before, say stop. Stop. There, are you sure? Yep. This card right there. Are you happy? Yep. You don't want to change your mind? Nope. If I got your card, would that be good? That'd be really good. The 3 of hearts, was that your card? No. That wasn't your card? Nope. Okay,
Let's try something. Are you sure? Am I close?
You're close.
I'm close, but it's not the three of hearts.
No.
I tell you what, just sign your name on the back of the card.
Okay.
Wonderful. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to try and make the three of hearts look like your card, okay? And it'll start off with me just bending in the corners of the card a little bit. Like this. Just like that, yeah? Now, what was your card? You can tell me.
Two of hearts.
So I was literally one pip off.
Basically.
Watch.
What?
I can take the pip off the three of hearts. Now, technically, that's the two of hearts, but it's not, because obviously it's going to have a three there and a three there.
Yeah. What?
And now,
What?
there's your signed two of hearts, and you can keep that as a souvenir.
How'd you do that?
Very well.
So how cool is that? Like, I absolutely love this. The nice thing is, because you've got all the suits, you've got clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds. This works with so many cards. You can have a 5 turn into a 4. You can have a 3 turn into a 2. You can have a 7 turn into a 6. There's a whole bunch of different ways of doing this. And so what I plan on doing, and I am definitely going to perform this, I'm going to get myself a couple of 4 stacks of my 2 favourite cards, maybe 3 or 4 stacks, and I'm going to get a whole bunch of refills of this, and I'm going to make up a load of gimmicks, because obviously every time, the negative is every time you do this, you're giving away the card, and you're ruining one of these stickers. And there's enough here for probably about 50 or 60 performances, but if you perform it a lot, you're going to end up needing to perform it again, right? So I'm going to get refill packs of these, because they are available from sankeymagic.com. I'm also going to get a pack of force cards, and I'm going to have them set up in my close-up case. So when I go to a gig, I'm just going to take 5 or 6 cards, put them into my top pocket, and then when I've done the trick, I can take another card out and do it again, and do it again, and do it again. You know, you're always looking for something different in a card set. This is really different. I love the fact that it's a regular deck in use. Let's say I want to go into it in the middle of a set, and I've got a 2 of diamonds prepped, for example. All I have to do is cut the 2 of diamonds in the deck to the top of the pack, have 1 gimmick card in my pocket, which I palm on top, and I'm good to go. Or I can have it set up from the beginning if I want to use this for an opener. And for sure, this would make a very good opener. This is great. I cannot wait to start performing this. I know the reactions are going to be absolutely killer. I love card revelations. I love card changes. And I just know that that moment where you pull that pip off and they see it come off, and then you undo, you open up the, the indices corners that you folded over, and it shows that the indices have changed. Killer. Absolutely killer. So I'm going to give this 100%. Again, like a stuck record, but if you are a commercial close-up worker, this is worth its weight in gold. So yeah, 100%, highly recommended. Now let's look at the next review. Okay, so the next routine I'm going to be looking at is called Final Cut. Final Cut is more of a parlour piece. It would work very well in a kids show. It would work very well in a parlour show. Depending on the size of the audience, it would work for a stage show. It would also work maybe as a big table trick in a close-up gig, but it's something that you need to kind of think about, because you're going to have to carry a big envelope around with you. What you have here, I think really what you're buying is you're buying the presentation for this trick, because there's nothing new in terms of methodology. Basically what we have here is a force and then the revelation of a prediction. And the force is as old as the hills. Like, it's something that's been done for as long back as I can remember. Jay has used it in his own projects for years and years. Anybody who knows Jay Sankey knows there's certain moves and certain concepts and certain principles that he favors that he will use again and again and again. And this particular force that he uses in this routine, which you'll see in a minute because I'm going to do a performance of it, but the force that he uses in this routine is a very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a very common force. It's one that he's used an awful lot. So I think what you're buying here is you're buying the presentation. I mean, it comes with all the props, so you get the black envelope, which is really nicely made, actually, really nice prediction envelope. You get the 2 movie posters, so you get 2 force posters, and we'll talk about that in a second, which again are really nicely made. They look really good. And you get about 10 or 12 pre-made lists, which again you'll see in a second, and you get a PDF so you can print more off. Well, first of all, let me show you what the whole routine looks like. Okay, so I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to do a full performance, and then I'll talk about what I think. I'm here with Jack.
Hello.
Hey, man. I have an envelope. This is the envelope of mystery.
Ooh.
Because inside is a mysterious prediction I will show you a little bit later on. I will tell you what's inside there. There is a souvenir movie poster.
Nice.
Souvenir movie poster, and I also have a whole bunch of different movies. As you can see, we've got a whole bunch of them. Some of the most common movies of all time. Now we're going to try and do something. I also have some scissors, and I'm going to put the envelope here. And I want you to remember I put the envelope down here from the very, very beginning.
Yep.
Now you're going to have a free choice here. What we're going to do is we're going to cut somewhere on here. And you get to decide where we cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors, I'm going to run down like this. And anytime you want to, you're going to say stop.
Okay.
Don't let me influence you. You don't have to stop near the top or near the bottom. In the middle, you can stop anywhere you want to. Are you ready? Anytime you want.
Stop.
Right there. Are you sure?
Yep.
Do you want to change your mind?
No, I'm happy with it.
You're happy right there. I'm going to cut right where you said stop. Is that fair?
Yep.
Now, what I want you to do is just tell everybody you cut through one film. Can you see?
Yep.
What was the film that you cut through?
Infinity War.
Infinity War. Now, if you'd gone on a little bit further down, you could have got Logan or Booksmart or Gravity. If you'd waited a little bit earlier, you could have got Skyfall or Rocket Man. Would you agree that I couldn't have influenced you and you could have cut anywhere you wanted to?
Yeah.
That's fair, right?
Yeah.
And I put this prediction down here from the very beginning, and there is one movie poster in here, and one movie poster only. If I told you that this was the poster this is a poster for the film that you stopped on, would that be good?
That'd be impossible.
We'll check it out. Look, one movie poster, and well, when I say one movie poster, I mean 2 movie posters. Well, actually, I don't mean 2 movie posters. There's only 1 movie poster, but it's a big one, and I had to cut it in half to fit it inside here.
So it's...
And you see, when I turn it over, you can see
What?
that I managed to get it exactly right.
How?
There you go. I don't know. Figure that out. It's kind of weird.
So that's the routine. Like you can see, it's very simple. I'm willing to bet that there's going to be several people that are watching this review that know exactly what Jay's doing here. So really, you're buying the presentation and you're buying the props. Now, I really do like that moment where they cut through the word, you let them see the word, and then you bring the prediction out and it matches and the prediction's being cut in half. That's very smart thinking. And that's a really nice way to do the revelation. I love that. I think that's good. This doesn't feel like a product. This kind of feels like the sort of thing that you would include on a multi-trick DVD or something that you would publish in a magazine. It doesn't necessarily feel like a trick in itself. When you think about some of the prediction systems that are on the market and some of the things that you can actually get, this is overly simplistic. Now, maybe I'm just being harsh on this because at the end of the day, this is going to get a really good reaction. This will get a really good reaction from audiences. I know it will. And Jay's included 2 movie posters, so he's got 2 ways of actually dealing with this. You can just do one force, and then you can do the next force at the next table with a different movie poster. So, you know, you're not actually having the same outcome every time. Or he does talk about how you could potentially show the first one, and then say, look, I've got another movie poster, let's do it again. But to be honest, I think that's a little bit overkill at that point, to be honest. I've already seen the trick. There's nothing new happening the second time you do it. So I don't think that's a particularly good idea. And Jay said that he only does that 2 or 3 times anyway, so I'm pretty sure he agrees with me. It's nice that you've got 2 movie posters so you can repeat it from table to table. And you've got one that's clearly an adult film, Mad Max, and one that the kids are going to know, Avengers. Yeah, you know, I mean, here's the thing. You just saw the performance. If you like the performance and you think this would fit into your show, get it. This would be a great trick, I think, for older kids, especially in a superhero-themed show. It's very easy to do. It allows you to focus on presentation. So for a kid show, I think this would be great. I also think this would work really well. This would work really, really well in most environments, to be honest. It would work really well. Banquet tables, big tables, parlour. I just wouldn't do it mix and mingle or extreme close-up. I don't think it would work too well there, just because of the nature of the props that you're going to have to carry around with you. You're going to have to take scissors. You're going to have to take this big envelope. So I wouldn't do it in that environment. Yeah, I think I was just expecting a little bit more. That's the only problem with this. I was just expecting a little bit more. It's a case of pick a word. Oh, you cut through this. Yeah, you cut through this film. Look, this is the film I predicted, and I cut the movie poster in half. It's like, yeah. But I think there could have been a little bit more to it. I think it could have been maybe part of a longer confabulation routine or something, or there could have been more to it. I just feel like there's not enough here to sell it as a product. I'm going to give it 80%. Because I think it's good. I might even do it, or I might even take the concept of it and plug it into a longer routine. Don't get me wrong, I don't think it's good. It is good, but I just think it's a little bit, it's almost like it's not finished. It's almost like it's been rushed to market, and I'm sure that's not the case, and there's some clever thinking behind it, but I think it could have been, if Jay had held off on it, I think it could have been even better. But that's where it's a detriment not having live performances. Because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if I saw Jay perform this in front of a group of people and they're freaking out, I'd be like, well, obviously I'm wrong because this is getting killer reactions. But because I haven't got that frame of reference, it's getting 80%. Okay, so the next routine we're looking at is Second Sight. And Second Sight is... It's a tattoo prediction trick. I think it's the best way to describe it. It's a tattoo prediction trick, which is kind of interesting because obviously I have lots and lots of tattoos. And what this is this is a prediction of a tattoo. So you have like a packet trick wallet, and inside that packet trick wallet you have a whole bunch of different tattoos. And you say, hey, I'm thinking about getting another tattoo, or I'm thinking of getting a tattoo. These are some of the ones that I was thinking of getting. These are the most popular tattoo designs. Do you think any of these would suit me? And then you bring out a $5 bill or a $1 bill or something that you've put a prediction on. You give that to somebody to hold on to. And then in the basic handling, they do this behind their back or under the table without looking. They have a free choice of a tattoo design. Anyone, no force. They put it into an ungimmicked envelope. They put the rest of the cards away. They do it behind their back or under the table. So it's all taking place sight unseen. You then open up the envelope and you tip out the card that they picked, and you've predicted it beforehand. No multiple outs, no nothing like that. You genuinely have predicted it. That's the basic routine. There's advanced routines. There's coincidence effects because you get 2 packets of cards. You get a gimmicked packet of these tattoo reveal cards, and you get a normal packet of these tattoo reveal cards. So Jay's got multiple different routines you can do with these. He's got a very nice kind of like almost a coincidence effect using the countdown force, which was really smart. And he's given you a whole bunch of ideas that you can do with this. But the main routine that he's selling, really kind of the main routine, is the one that I just told you about. I'm going to perform it for you so you can see exactly what it looks like, and then I'll talk about what I think. I'm here with Luke.
Hello, mate.
Hey, man. You going to help me with this?
Okay.
I've got a few things here. For the first thing I've got is an envelope. Can you make sure there's nothing in it and it is indeed empty?
Which a little bit, but yeah, it's empty.
Empty?
Yeah.
And as well as that, we have this little wallet here. There's a card there that I'm going to get back to. Just one card. I want you to remember that starts off there. We're going to get back to it later on.
Okay.
And then I've got these here. I'm going to put that over there. Now, what we have here, these are different tattoo designs. And the reason is I'm getting a new tattoo soon. And me and Kat have been going back and forth as to which tattoo I'm going to get. And this is my kind of... these are my final selections. I started off with about 30 or 40 and I've ended up with these. These are the ones that both me and Kat think would look the best. I'm trying to finish off this left arm here, you see. And there's a whole bunch of different options here. I've got stars, yin and yang. I've got like an egg timer, skull and crossbones. Doesn't really matter. We're going to try and do something because I have decided on one now. I want to see an experiment. Do you believe in coincidence?
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
You know what? It's a coincidence, but so do I.
Oh, wow.
I know, right? I'm
That's
going
why I
to
believe in it.
exactly. I'm going to prove it to you. Take those underneath the table
Okay.
and put them underneath the table so you can't see them, I can't see them, the camera can't see them, no one can see them, and then mix them up under the table. Give them a really good mix up so you don't know the order. They're all completely different. And when you've done that, let me know when you don't know the order. Are you done? You're being very thorough, aren't you?
Right, yeah. One
You
more.
don't trust me at all, do you?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Cool. Now give me the envelope is empty, obviously.
Yeah.
Keep the cards under the table, but bring your empty hand out. Take the envelope, put it underneath the table.
Okay.
And when it's underneath the table, what I want you to do is take any one of those cards, put it in the envelope, and then close the envelope.
Oh, okay.
Any one you want.
Done.
And when you've done that, bring the envelope out, we'll put it there. So there's no way I could know what tattoo design is in there because
I
you
don't
mix
even
them
know.
up. Yeah, exactly. Now pass me the rest of them underneath the table because I don't want you to see them. I don't want to see them. Look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them into my top pocket without anyone seeing anything.
Sound.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, if I could tell you what was inside there, would that be good?
Oh, yeah.
Because think about it, there are about 10 tattoo designs. You mix them up under the table. There's no way I could possibly know. You took any one, you put it in the envelope. Everything was done completely out of sight. Even if somehow the cards were marked, it wouldn't help because everything was under the table.
Yeah.
So watch. Yeah, I think you put the star in there.
The star.
Yeah, I think you put the star in there. In fact, check this out.
What?
You did put the star in there. I mean, obviously, I have to be honest, I cheated. Do you know why I cheated?
What?
Because I knew you were going to put the star in there. Because the star is the tattoo that I've decided on. I'm going to have it right there.
Nice.
Yeah, and I can prove it to you because do you remember I left one card inside here from the very beginning?
Yeah.
There's proof that I knew you would pick the star.
Brilliant.
There you go.
That's class.
Yeah, so that's that. I mean, again, it's a little bit like the final cut, in that it is what it is. It's a reveal of a tattoo. I mean, it's a nice premise. It is a nice hook. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice hook, you know, talking about, hey, I'm thinking of getting a tattoo, or hey, these are some really popular tattoo designs, and getting them to freely pick one. I do like that idea. And the methodology is quite clever, having them do it behind their back or underneath the table. They're going to feel like they've had a free choice of any card, even though you're forcing one particular shape on them in a very clever way. I've never actually seen this before. The way that Jay gets to forcing this particular image is very unique. It's very different. Like I say, it's never been seen before, as far as I'm aware. It's easy to do. It's completely self-working. If you've got no skill, it makes no difference. You can do this straight away. You don't need a table. The magic happens in the spectator's hands. It's very easy to do. There's no angle restrictions. It's almost resettable. It's not quite, depending on the routine you do. You're going to need to do something. And Jay's included lots of other routines with the props as well. So if you don't like the main routine, there's an advanced routine where you can have the cards almost examined at the beginning. And there's, as I say, lots of other stuff you can do with it, such as coincidences and so on and so forth. The main routine is clever and it would work and it's commercial. I just feel it's a little bit underwhelming. It's a little bit like the final cut trick. It's a little bit underwhelming. I wanted more. It's kind of like, and maybe that's just me, you know, I love multi-phase routines, and this is just like, hey, pick a tattoo, hey, I predicted that, thanks very much. It's kind of like, okay, so what's the difference between that and revealing a playing card? Or, you know, yeah, the method's nice, but laymen aren't going to care. What's the difference between doing a riffle force of a playing card and doing this? Other than, do you know what I mean? And yeah, I know that the tattoo cards give it an interesting hook and so on and so forth. But to me, the project felt a little bit half finished. I was a little bit underwhelmed. But I have to temper that with the fact that I think this could be really, really good. I think this could work really well, especially if you work at places where a lot of people have got tattoos, or you've got tattoos like I have. I think that people would get a kick out of this. I think I would get a kick out of performing this. So I'm going to give it 88%. I think it's good, don't get me wrong, and I don't think anybody's going to be disappointed when they get it. They're going to see it, they're going to think, oh, that's a clever method, I'm going to do that, and I think if you do it, you'll get a really good reaction. I just think that Jay could have gone a little bit further with this concept, which is a common problem. I think that Jay sometimes, I don't want to say he releases stuff half-arsed, because that's not the case, because Jay Sankey is responsible for some of the best magic that's been brought out over the last 20 years. But I think sometimes routines come out and they could have been fleshed out a little bit more. Maybe. I don't know. Having said that, this is a really good trick. The method is sound. The reaction from the audience is definitely going to be good. I'm going to give it 88%. Right, so the next routine we're going to be looking at is Clearly Impossible. And this is one of my favourites on the whole review show special. I love this. What it is it's a way of having a corner that's torn off a card appear inside a stapled up coin collector's case, which is inside a black wallet that has been shown empty and held by the spectator from the very beginning. This is very clever. And this is an example of Jay not half-arsing it and instead coming up with something that's just super clever. It would have been very easy to bring out this trick and just have it appear inside this wallet. And it would have been a good trick. But what he's done here is he's gone above and beyond. And the trick is all the better for it. So genuinely, at the beginning of this routine, you open up a little black wallet, like a packet trick style wallet, and you show a coin collector's case in there. And people can see it's empty. Then you hold their hand out. You don't switch the envelope, wallet. You don't switch the wallet at all. It's held at the tips of your fingers. You give them the wallet. They hold onto it in between their hands. You then take a deck of cards. You have them pick any card that they want to. And you tear the corner off that card. You then vanish the corner in a very clean way. And with no moves, they open up the wallet. They have a look inside the wallet, and now in that coin collector's case is the torn corner, and they take it out and it matches, and everything is examinable. The deck's examinable, the card's examinable, the wallet's examinable, the coin collector's case examinable, the torn corner is examinable. Genius. And it's pretty much an instant reset depending on how you want to go with the routine, because Jay talks about how you can actually give this torn corner out. And if you do want to give this torn corner out and you want to give it out in the coin collector's case as a souvenir, obviously you're then going to have to use another coin collector's case. Now, if you are planning on giving them out again and again, you do get like 10 or 12 coin collector's cases. So you can make it up over and over again. So it'd be very easy to just grab another one for your next performance. Jay also sells replacement refills for this particular trick as well. So if you want to do it again and you want to get refills, that's not a problem because there's lots of refills available for it. I'm going to do a performance of this routine. It really is a great routine. So let me perform it for you just so you can see how good it is.
I'm going to do it on you.
Okay.
So I have a little black wallet here, and inside this black wallet, I have a coin collector's case. You know when people collect coins, they keep them inside a little case, which is like see-through, so you can see the coin very clearly, but you're not going to touch it or anything, so it's not going to like affect the coin in any way. I've got one here. You can probably see it inside there. I mean, this one's empty, but we're going to try and do something with the coin collector's case and with this deck of cards over here. So we're going to use the deck of cards and we're going to use the coin collector's case, okay? Now what I need you to do is hold your hand out for me. So if you could hold your hand out, that would be amazing. I'm going to put the wallet right there, and if you can put your other hand on top, that would be good. So we have the wallet in your hand, and I also have Luke behind the camera. So Luke's going to help me as well. Luke, you're going to pick one of these cards.
Okay.
I'm going to give them a bit of a shuffle first.
Thank you.
Just so you know that they're all mixed up. And I'm going to do this in a very fair way, Luke. So I'm going to deal cards onto the table like this, one at a time. Anytime you want to, just say stop, anytime.
Stop.
There, do you want to stop there? Are you happy?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take the card you stopped at, the Jack of Clubs, and think about this for a minute. You could have stopped anywhere, but you stopped on this card. Is that fair?
That's fair, man.
Now watch. All I'm going to do... I'm not very good at this, but I'm going to rip the corner off the card. Okay? Now watch. Don't blink. If I take that corner and do this, what I can do is I can make that corner completely disappear. Which is kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting, but it's where the corner went. Now I showed you that coin collector's case that you've been holding on to the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Inside that wallet. Lift up your hand. Because now, if you open this up, you can see inside that coin collector's case is what looks like the corner of a Jack of Clubs, sealed inside there. But not only that, if you look here, you'll find that it matches exactly. You can have a look at that and examine everything.
So there you go. That's yeah. I mean, that's what you got right there. I mean, I love the trick. I really do. I think it's very smart. I think it's very clever. Now, the gimmicks, it's a lot more gimmick than you probably think. The way that Jay shows the coin collector's case empty at the beginning, and that's the selling point for me on this routine. You open up the wallet, they see that this coin collector's case is empty, you close it up, you give them the wallet. And the way that he's managed to make that happen is very clever. Roy Coopers has created the gimmick for this. So it's a custom created gimmick designed specifically for this routine. And the gimmick works like a charm. It really does. And it's the gimmick that means that this needs to be reset. It's not a long reset. It's probably, I'd say 10 seconds at the most, but you will need to reset this trick. Even if you're not giving the thing out for a souvenir, you do need to reset it. But that once it's set up, it can be in your top pocket. You're good to go. It can be in your jacket pocket. You can just take it out. You can show it. You can go into the routine immediately. The way that Jay gets the force and the vanish of the vanish of the corner. Sorry, I'm going crazy. The way that Jay does the force of the card and the vanish of the corner is very deceptive. It really is. Now, I've seen Jay use this before. He talks about it's a principle that he's used for years. I've seen others since Jay use this principle, but I have seen him use this principle in lots of other routines. But it's a very easy way of vanishing the corner, and it genuinely is the same corner in the case that's torn off the card. Jay then talks about other things that you can do with this, because you don't just necessarily have to use a playing card. He tears part of the card case off and does it with part of the card case, which is a really smart idea. He uses money to do it. He can do it, he does it with a dollar bill and tearing the corner off a dollar bill and having it signed, which works really well as well. It's just a really smart routine. It's a really smart routine. It's open to a whole bunch of ideas as to how you can use it. I'm going to give it 99%. I think I'm definitely going to do this. It's different. It's unique. I really like it. And it's highly recommended. So you can get it directly from sankeymagic.com. So the final routine that we're going to be looking at today on this week's review show special is Warning, again by Jay Sankey, available directly from sankeymagic.com. And Warning is a collection of secret labels, basically, that you stick on a Bic lighter. And Jay refers to this as the best secret weapon you'll ever find. So you get a bunch of labels that you stick onto a lighter. Some of them look like real labels. Others have force cards written on them. And Jay goes through a whole bunch of different ways of using this, but the general concept is you show a warning label on a lighter, and then you have somebody pick a card, and you change that warning label into into a label that has their card printed on it over and over again. So if they pick the 6 of clubs, all of the writing would change into the 6 of clubs. Now, as with a lot of Jay's projects, he's really thought this through, and he's gone into a lot of different variations. So he talks about paddle moves, he talks about switches, he talks about you learn a whole bunch of different sleights with this project. But the other thing is, he talks about different ways that you can present it, different ways you can perform it. He talks about how you could do it as a double card revelation. So you can show a lighter, have 2 people pick cards, and have the labels change into both cards, which is an interesting idea that I thought was quite good. Reminded me a little bit of Richard Sanders' Remarkable, but with big lighters instead of marker pens. I thought that was really clever. Really like that, actually. I think that there's a lot more you could do with this. So when I started looking at it, one thing that I thought this would be quite good for, that Jay didn't discuss, is the concept of creating an instant stooge. So I like the idea of showing this lighter and having somebody pick a card and force the card on them and say, okay, here's what's going to happen. I'm not going to find your card. You're going to find the card. You're going to have to help me with this. I'm going to make you look like $1 million. But if you're going to be a magician, you got to keep a secret. Can you do that? And you're kind of cueing this person over here to understand that you're going to feed the information to them. And then you take the lighter and you say, here's, examine this lighter, and all that's on there is a warning label, apparently. And you wave the lighter underneath the deck of cards. And then you tell this guy to look into the flame. And as you're telling them to look into the flame, he's looking at the warning label and he's looking at the playing card that person's picked. So you can then say, did you get the card? You did. What was the card? 6 of clubs. Was it the 6 of clubs? Yes. Isn't that amazing? He did it himself. And you're kind of empowering the spectator. And you could then do that again, because obviously you can have different lighters prepped, so you can switch lighters in and out. I quite like the idea of using this as an instant stooge. But having said that, using it as just a normal routine is quite good as well. I do like the idea of combining it with blank cards. I think you can get a lot of mileage out of that. And revelations, obviously, as you've got a lighter, revelations on the back of cards with burnt images and stuff would also be really good. Let me just give you a really basic performance of the basic routine that you can do with this, just so you get an idea of what's what.
I'm here with Jack.
Hello.
Hey, buddy. Do you want to shuffle the cards, or do you want me to shuffle them?
I'll shuffle them.
You're going to give them a shuffle?
Yeah.
See, this is why I like performing for you instead of Luke. Luke's afraid of shuffling cards. You're not. Give the cards a shuffle. When you finish shuffling them, put them back in the original order, ideally, because then it'll make the trick work.
It might take me a while. Oops.
No, I was thinking of the Ace of Hearts. That was amazing. Well done. And then I was thinking of the 6 of Hearts. You need to start doing the Magic Lives. That was brilliant.
I've got enough on me play. Okay.
There we go. Are we good? So, you shuffle them into a random position. I can possibly know what that random position is, right?
Yep.
Can you do me a favour and just cut the cards?
How many?
Just once. Just cut one packet of cards over there.
Okay.
And we'll mark the cut. So we'll mark where you've cut to, okay?
Okay.
Now I have up here a lighter. And I don't know if you've noticed before, but all lighters come with a warning label. And I was reading this warning label, and it's kind of weird. Do you know why it's kind of weird?
What is that?
Have you ever read the warning label on a lighter?
I don't smoke, so no.
I tend to do this sort of stuff because that's how I roll. And it actually says on here, do not use or keep near an open flame.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but hang on a minute. Well, it's not even lighting. That's an open flame. How am I supposed to not keep it near an open flame when its actual purpose is to have an open flame? Like, that absolutely makes no sense. Am I the only one that thinks that way? Or
It is a bit contradictory.
It is kind of a bit contradictory. Anyway, that's not the trick. I just wanted to point out the stupidity of that warning label. What's really interesting is this. We're going to have a look at the card that you cut to. You see it there?
Yep.
Good. And you could have cut anywhere, but you cut right there. I want to watch this warning label because I'm going to try and do this. Watch, if I just do this, I can take all of that writing and change it so that everywhere it now says, check that out, Luke, 3 of spades, 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 3 of spades. Was your card the 3 of spades?
Yeah.
How miraculous is that?
That's insane.
The whole thing was an illusion, though, you see. It didn't say 3 of spades.
What did it say?
Well, to be honest, there was never even a warning label. See, I don't smoke either. I don't even have a lighter. Whole thing's in your imagination.
So again, it's very easy to do. You get lots and lots of labels, so you can prep tons of lighters, you know, lots of positives. It's easy to do, fits in the pocket, instant reset. Depending on the routine you're doing, it's examinable. Magic happens in the spectator's hand. You're using a lighter, so it's an unusual object that you wouldn't normally see done with magic. There's a lot of things to like about that. In all honesty, I prefer warning by Caustic Himlock, which Prop Dog have the rights to, which is where you show a warning label on a Bic lighter, you take it off, you light it, and in a burst of flames, it goes back onto the lighter and, you know, changes into, it sticks itself back onto the lighter. I do actually prefer that. Having said that, even though I prefer that, I still do like this. And I think that there's a lot of opportunities here that I think that people could use, and I think it's definitely a commercially viable prop. And the fact that Jay has spent so much time on the tutorial going through different concepts and different ideas shows that he's really thought about this. So I do like it. I'm going to give it 90%. It's recommended, and like I said earlier on, you can get it directly from sankeymagic.com. So there you go, guys. That is another review show special in the bag, as Ryland would say. I can do another one of these Sankey Magic review show specials in the future. Would you like me to see another one in the future? Would you like me to do another one in the future? If you would, please let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget, you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I'm going to be back on Monday with 3 videos. We're going to have a shorts at 2 o'clock, at 6 o'clock we're going to have a Magic Live. I'm going to be back at 9 o'clock with a 5x5. So thanks once again for checking out all of the content here on Magic TV. Please do not forget that at 9 o'clock on Wednesday night, myself and Lloyd Barnes have episode number 1 of the Magic Podcast. It's going live 9 o'clock on Wednesday, the 1st of December. So look out for it. It's going to be an amazing podcast. You can get it on all the normal podcasting platforms, including Apple and Spotify, Android, all those fun things. So thanks very much for watching. I'll be back again soon. Have a great day. My name's Craig from Magic TV.